Oh shit, what happened? Well, last time off-roading I got a leaking radiator. This one. I ordered some new ones, some new fake ones from China, but they still have not arrived. It's been almost a month and I want to have the bike ready for vacation. I'm going off-roading on vacation. So a good friend of mine had an OEM one laying around. We have only one problem. This is the normal fan switch for 2003 model. And that's the bigger lung plug. And this one is from, I believe, a 1999 model. It's way smaller. So yeah, the problem is we need to make it fit. Probably will work, but it's a different connector. And this one, the diameter wise, is smaller than this one. I've waited for another week for the Chinese one to show up, but they are stuck somewhere in the border. So we're gonna have to work with this one. So if you buy a radiator or a second-hand one, look at this the right size. I think it's easily, you can easily see it when it has a different connector on it. I believe the Chinese one that I bought is from 2000 and up, so it should fit. But we have to work what we have to work with. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, you can see it here. It's probably knackered here. It's leaking like a lot. So I will show you the clip where I fell down. This was not really hard or anything, but it pushed the tank a little bit, and I think big. So it was leaking here. So that's a bit of a shame. Other than that, I'm going to put in some new sprockets and chain, because yeah, they are done. The chain is also dusty as hell. The tires, for the plan is to go from France to Spain off-roading. I don't know if it will make it all the way, but these tires, I want new tires on them. But these ones they cannot buy in time, the dealership, so I have to buy some other one. So I'm going to take these one off, put new one on. I'm not throwing these ones away because there's still enough tread left to do off-roading, but I don't want to be stranded halfway. And for the people who are in the know, I'm in my brother's shop at the moment. That's why it looks a bit different. Really nice actually. He has all the nice stuff. So my brother has Africa Twin RDO7, and you've seen it in some of my videos as well. And the Dominator build. So the fairings are off because they're getting painted at the moment. So he's putting on a carburetor on there as well. Live PO4 battery there. Custom air box with this airpiece. Yeah, lots of money and love has been on here. So my brother is kind of a genius when it comes to building stuff. Custom mounts, everything. So I still need to do an in-depth video about it. But I really want to do it when my brother is here, because he's not here at the moment. He is away for his work, and then I can tell you all the ins and outs. So today we're focusing on my KTM 640 third at the moment. It's a great bike, but yeah, there's one thing after another with it. So that's, yeah, it's a great bike for off-roading. I've got the old sprocket off. You can see the teeth. Yeah, they're pretty much done. So normally I buy a DID or DID, I don't know how you pronounce it in English, chained. But because I'm off-roading with it so much, they wear a lot faster anyway. So I bought a GT. They make good sprockets and stuff. Also a sprocket. So it was €8 for the set. When I got it in the mail, they forgot to send me the rear sprocket. So I got one, but it's an aluminium one. Normally I'm not too much a fan of aluminium sprockets. Yeah, they're lighter, that's nice, but they wear also faster. So I have to see how it goes. Of course with Loctite, how we can work at getting the chain off and the front sprocket off. There's a bunch of blue Loctite in here. That's a lot. Can we spot the differences? Only this one is way wider, so hopefully everything will fit. Cut off the old chain, and here we have the new one. Nothing spectacular, no O-ring chain, just cheap chain. New chain is on. We have some leaks from the output shaft, so we're going to replace it.
Is attempting to repair the damage done to his mind by his wife's death.
So I bought these crash bars from Holland, one of the only places that still makes crash bars for these bikes. They're quite expensive, and after paying the money, it took a while to get any response on the email, and eventually was we're busy with them. After a month sending more emails, and I was looking on the internet a bit, and apparently a lot of people hadn't received theirs. So after I think 20 mails and threatening to proceed legal action, he finally sent them to me. But they're awful quality. They don't fit, like almost at all. The upper part doesn't fit my bike. I did see on the site, I didn't know if it was on there when I bought them, that they won't fit with a high fender. But even when I took off the fender for a fitment, it's the worst fitting crash bars I've ever had. I know that crash bars are a bum to put on because they never fit properly. They always have some maneuvering, but this one they don't fit at all. So yeah, they're really expensive. The paint job sucks, even though he said one of the excuses why he didn't send the crash bars was, yeah, they're at the painters now. Nobody's painted it professionally, it's just rattle canned. So it's already, you can see, it's already rusting here. Yeah, it's a shitty design. But I do want crash bars on my bike when I go off-roading on the vacation. Look how nice that looks. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to cut off the top part. This side does fit actually, but this side does not fit, and it even touches the front suspension. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cut off this part, the top part, so at least we have the down part of the crash bar. So my idea is, if the bike falls over, it's protected down here by the crash bar, and up top it lands on the handguard, so we still have something. It's not ideal, I mean, they're expensive, but don't buy crash bars from these scam people. The oil filter. This bike you have the big oil filter and the smaller one in here. You can see the smaller one. I think it's 4,000 kilometers ago that I changed it. The screens. Don't forget to take the little bolt off that's there, otherwise you won't drain all the oil. And this. Getting some proper oil in there. Cut the top part off of the crash bars, because they would mount here, but the high fender would be in the way. So I needed to cut a lot of the high fender off, and I'm not willing to do that. And as there's shit crash bars already, I'm just going to modify them. And yeah, if I would have known this, I would not have paid 250 euros. But firstly I'm going to remove the spark plug, because yeah, that's an easy job to do. But this time I got some different spark plugs, because the NKG was not available, only the iridium ones, and they are pretty expensive. So I have one from Denso. I don't know the brand, but I got two, one spare. Funny thing is, the Transalp, I just put in new spark plugs. It has a twin spark, and I was on a tour in England, and I was like, well, I don't need new spark plugs, I just put them in, and the twin spark, if something happens, it will just be fine. But because the engine was using a lot of oil, they got fouled, and I even tried to send them, but nothing worked. So eventually I was stranded on the motorway. A really nice dude. I'll put a picture. He stopped and put the bike in the van, and he helped me be on my way again. Just shout out to him. He's probably not watching my videos, but you know, it's always nice that people help a stranger. Remember the difference? Still looks pretty good. Better be safe than sorry, right? Yeah, but I really need to do something. I ordered tires. They're almost the same tires as on here, only with plenty of meat left. Like I said, I don't want to be stranded in France somewhere and then need to find a tire. The front was has some meat left. They're bi-directional, so when I'm changing the tires to the other one, I will keep these ones and put them on the other side, other way around. But the front is pretty okay. The rear is, yeah, it's not going to make it 3,000 kilometers off-road though. Literally the evening I installed the second-hand one, they showed up in the mail. Chinese made, they're like 53 euros. They look good, but they told me it was from 2000 and up. But what's the problem, you might say? It also has a smaller diameter hole. So you can see the difference. It's a smaller one. It's the same smaller hole that's on the 1999 Radiator, but it was specially sold as 2000 and up. And here is the one, the leaking one, but you can see it's way bigger. So it has enough meat to cut it and put this one in, but I think it's a bit risky. So I'm just going to use this sensor. This is just a temperature switch for the fan. So I'm just going to cut it off here, put some nice connectors on there, and use this for the time being, or you know, if it works out. But that means we need to take it off again. I won't bore you with all the things I need to do, so we're just going to change with movie magic. Okay, I wanted to do a transition with them on the bike, but look, fitment there, fitment there. I mean, okay, it's alright. And then here it's way too low. But the big problem is here. Mounting tab is there and the one is there. So you can see if I put it in here, it does not line up at all. This side is even worse. So if I line up the rear hole, look, I hope you can see it, how bad. Not at all. Yeah, shame. Because they're exactly the same that they're selling in the Netherlands for 140 euros. You can see it better here. You can see I lined up the holes on this side. Then you can see how much. And even if I would get it to fit, it would be too low and hitting the exhaust pipe. It even has another problem. Do you see on the OEM one that there's a lip here? This one does not have it. You would say, oh, that's not a problem, right? Well, the problem is, do you see the fan? It's on 2 bolts on this side, and the other side is with a little lip clip that is put behind the lip of the radiator. So on the Chinese one, even if everything would fit, it would not fit the fan at all. A friend of mine also has a KTM 640 and he has a different batch, the Chinese ones, so maybe they fit. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm going to put on the OEM radiators again. My thinking was that, well, the Chinese ones are new, so maybe they're less prone to leaking when I'm off-roading, but yeah, we have to work with what we have to work with, and it's back to what it was before. But because I took everything off, I also replaced this one for the new old one. So I replaced both of the radiators. But still old radiators and not new ones. These are the Chinese hoses. They're okay because OEMs, you cannot find them or are really expensive. I did shorten them a little bit so that they don't rub against anything. I already drove 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers with these ones, but they were rubbing a little bit on that side. So that's why if you get them, they're cheap, 30 euros, but a little bit too big for the OEM radiators. So you need to clamp them down very well, and there are some parts that you need to shorten them because otherwise they will rub against stuff.